Hello?
Ron.
Yes.
Sorry, we were just coming in from break.
Oh, no problem.
And we didn't get back in time. But Ron Barba.
Yes, sir.
Actor and stand-up.
Yes, I'm a host. I'm a recovering comedian. I host comedy shows now.
Oh, you still do? That's what I was wondering. I was wondering if you still did comedy or not.
I do. I'm actually doing 2 spots Friday and Saturday night here in the city. I normally do it maybe once a week.
You're in Hollywood?
No, I'm in New York City. I'm calling you from Midtown, New York.
Cool. Where are you hosting these?
They're downtown at the Lovecraft in the East Village, and then right where I am on 49th Street, the Gaff Bar.
Cool.
I'm performing this Friday night at 8 and Saturday at 9.
Nice. And who's going to be performing?
Well, it's myself and just a bunch of comedians. There's only about 10 million comedians in New York. There's more comedians than there are people in New York City. And I love saying that because it's friggin' true.
Yeah.
And actually, it's a guy named Sean Lynch who's the host of the show, and he's been on TV and done a lot of stuff. So he's the one who asked me to come on this show.
Cool.
So that's what I'm doing on Friday, and then Saturday night is a guy named Matt Azark, and that's the show I'm doing there. It's actually they're both bar shows. And there's a lot, New York City is mostly bar shows, and then there's, of course, the comedy clubs. But, man, thanks for having me on this show. This is phenomenal. This is like the second podcast I've done in a week, and something must be happening. All of a sudden, I'm doing podcasts. This is great.
Nice. We're a little more. We do the live radio on the internet. We do.
Oh.
And then it goes up. Like right now, we're live. We're on IPM Nation. It's an internet station we're on, and then in a few days, Slim will upload it to Podbean. And then also, like,
Saturdays
on the weekends, it gets played on 3 different stations, three different other internet radio stations. So
where are you guys located? I saw on the phone Barnegat, New Jersey. Is that Barnegat?
Yeah, I'm in Barnegat. Slim's in Tuckerton. It's about 45 minutes from AC, about an hour from Philly.
Cool. All right, good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah,
I went to school in Villanova.
Nice.
Not far from Philly.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
What did you do first? Did you do comedy or acting first?
Mostly acting. Growing up, I had a video camera, and my brothers and I used to do little videos of sketches and fake movies and all that stuff. And so I really was into acting. So I did a lot of theater. I actually do theater now. So I do dinner theater here in the city, and I'll occasionally do plays.
Because I heard you sing in your stand-up. You could sing. I didn't know if you ever made like a comedy musical.
I've done some. I haven't done a comedy musical, but I've definitely written and performed some comedy songs. When I first got on stage in New York City, my brother and I wrote a song called "Why I Don't Paint People" by Bob. Well, not by Bob Ross, but I impersonated Bob Ross singing it. So it was like a song that Bob Ross may have sang. I don't know if you know who Bob Ross is.
I do. We mentioned him earlier. Like recently, he's come back. Like I think you could do well with that now because I was at a store and they had Bob Ross pop figures and they sold out.
I know.
Right away.
I should. I'll tell you what. I performed that act for about 2 years in the city, and it always did well. I could have kept doing it. I could probably bring it back today. That was 15 years ago, and I have a video on YouTube called "Why I Don't Paint People." It's a hilarious video, and it's with the song, and the song's fantastic. I mean, it went viral on YouTube. And they took it down because Bob Ross is in the video. Because back then I didn't know you can't put the people in the video, so he just made a fun video of it and posted on YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bob Ross is the man, and Why I Don't Paint People was like the first thing I did in New York City, getting on a stand-up stage, and that's how I started doing, being in stand-up rooms.
I watched a bunch of your stand-up. You have like almost a Rodney Dangerfield feel to you.
Yes, well, he's the king. Cool. Rodney's my favorite. Growing up, it was Richard Pryor, and then as I got older, I'm like, I just love Rodney more. I just love his jokes, his joke telling.
It was just like
my style.
It's just guttural. It's just instinct for Rodney, like, and that's what I feel you nail it.
Exactly, man. That's I'm trying to conjure the spirit of Rodney, my favorite.
I don't know if you heard too. I'd heard once that towards the end of his life, he was almost completely senile, and his wife would actually feed him lines through an earpiece. Like,
oh, really?
No way.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah, she would be telling him his jokes, and yeah, he was just, but he still had it. He still had that instinct, that comedy.
That punch.
Yeah.
I saw him. It was a great video of him. If you just YouTube him with the interview he did on Howard Stern was fantastic because, as you know, Howard's such a good interviewer, but it was such a great, he really talked about growing up, and it was a very sobering conversation he had with Howard.
Oh my God, he would talk about men giving him a nickel to sit on their laps growing up. Yes.
Exactly. I have no idea those stories. It's just amazing.
My God, yeah, it was like during the Great Depression. Yeah. And then I remember him too. He said, I'm sorry, Ron, but I remember him saying he spoiled his kids because he didn't have a lot as a kid. So he spoiled his kids and they ended up hating him for it. Like, it was very
They hated him for spoiling them.
But just hated him, I guess, because they were just spoiled, and they were just shitty people from that. And
exactly, they're bad people from being spoiled. I have some people in my family like that, actually. Yeah. But Rodney, I remember Rodney in one of his bits, because I used to listen to his stand-up quite a lot, and he was like, kids, he's like, they never, and this wasn't a joke. He goes, they never turn out how you expect. So he you could hear there was some disappointment in his. I don't think he had maybe a disappointment, but just disappointment in his kids and the relationship he had with them.
Yeah,
I know he did say that.
A little regret or something.
I'll say a quick story. I saw him once in Beverly Hills. He was crossing the street. This is when I first went out to L.A. when I was 23. I'm 47 now, and I went out to L.A. to search for stardom. And he crossed the street, and I yelled. I was like, I couldn't believe he was in front of me. I go, Rodney, I love you. And I swear to God, he came back and goes, hey, that's all right. You're all right. That's all right. He literally said it like he was on stage. It was so funny.
Wow, what a great interaction.
Yes, it was great.
I ran into David Letterman once in a Taco Bell, and he was like setting up a skit. This was in North Jersey when I lived up there, and he just shook our hands. He was like, "It's great to meet you guys. We just went for lunch. It was like high school."
Awesome.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm shooting a bit. I'm just getting ready to shoot a bit." And it was really
There's nothing better when they're nice to you, and if you're nice to them, I think a lot of times they're going to be nice. It's just some people come at them in weird ways, and I've definitely come at people in weird ways when I was younger. I remember just recently, or not recently, but I don't know, who Paul Mooney is, a comedian?
Yes, I love him. Oh my God.
Yeah, I love Paul Mooney. I walked by him one day. He was going into there's a great story. He was going into the Laugh Factory. They had a Laugh Factory here in the city a long time ago on 42nd Street, 42nd and 8th. Yes. And he was going to do a set there, and I was on the corner, and I just saw him. And this is before actually, I guess I was performing then. But I was like, are you Paul Mooney? And he goes, no, I'm Bob Hope. And just kept walking. It was so funny.
I actually now know. Yeah, I know who Paul Mooney is.
He is. He's amazing. I know my buddy Ricky went to see him once, and he just said he was so uncomfortable the whole time, like in the audience.
Well, he's great. He just it's so like seemingly anti-white. After a while, it gets annoying. But he's very funny. He's such a funny guy.
Oh, he's
talented. Such a talented guy.
Yeah, I love this little part on Chappelle's show, like Ask a Black Guy.
Oh yeah. Black Stradamus, or what is his name?
Yes, I think
he's amazing. Right. Paul Mooney's a legend. I mean, I think they said like he and Richard Pryor were best friends, and apparently, when you see Pryor's stuff, Pryor had some great stuff, but I think that Paul Mooney, I think, wrote a lot of stuff for him because a lot of the stuff that Richard says, it doesn't really jive with his personality, but it was so well done. He was able to execute it probably better than Paul, because Paul pisses off a lot of people because he's so pro-black, anti-white.
Yes.
And Richard kind of was in between, and so that's why Richard's act could work better.
Yeah.
But he's still a legend, Paul Mooney, wherever he goes.
I love him. I love him. As far as your acting goes, do you prefer comedy roles or like serious roles?
You're gonna love it. This couldn't have happened on a better day. I was just on TV last night for a show called it's called Grave Secrets, and it's on the ID channel, the Investigation Discovery.
Okay.
And I played a detective on it. And everybody on my Facebook, they're all taking pictures of me and posting them of me with the on the screen. And it was a serious role. I was playing a detective. Like I didn't play detectives or like I wouldn't say serial killers, but like crazy people. I can kind of do both.
Okay.
But last night it was playing a detective, and it was funny because I mostly do comedy stuff now. I used to do a lot of serious stuff, especially on stage. And as I've gotten older, I'm like, you know what, man. That serious stuff like gets you kind of depressed. So I kind of like to do the more comedy stuff. Although I wouldn't turn down any dramatic piece at all. I think it's very important to do that stuff.
Yeah.
I just find for my own mental health, I like doing comedy, and I have an ability with comedy. And comedy is a talent that's very it's not easily. Number one, you should normally just have it, but you also have to work at it. And if you do have it, it's a special skill that a lot of people don't have. So I prefer comedy. I just want to say, when we did this, all these stories on Discovery ID are very negative. They're very sad. They're about death. They're about murders, basically.
Yeah.
But on set, we were having nothing but fun outside of when they said action.
Cool.
I had my detective partner was this little guy with a mustache, and I'm 6'4", and he's a tiny guy, and we were just like an Abbott and Costello doing the scenes, and we just laughed so much in between the scenes.
That's cool.
So it was a lot of fun, even though it was a serious role.
Yeah. That's cool. I was watching your reels, your acting reels, and your comedy,
cool.
and your dramatic one. And even like you said, in the dramatic one, there's a few, like, just your facial expression. Like, there are sometimes I'm laughing because you do have you have that, man. I'm telling you, you have that comedy.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I'm almost like a manic depressive. I can almost like do the whole gambit of emotions where it looks funny. There's one picture. What's that?
You have that where you, like, 1 minute, like, it seems like you'll be just laughing, and then you go dark, or you just go angry. Like, I love that.
It's a bit crazy. It's a bit of a crazy personality, but I'm trying, I try to use it since I do have it, but I do recognize it in myself. I'm like, you're kind of nuts, man, that you can be so angry and just, you could explode on somebody, and the next half you could be laughing at the nonsense of life and the goofiness of where we are and what we're doing.
I love that. I had a job once where I snapped. I have anger too, and I had a guy tell me, he came up to me and he's like, Rob, I was in jail for 5 years and nobody in there scared me as much as you do when you get mad. He's like, I can see the look in your eyes, like you will kill somebody. Like, yeah. And I've calmed down. I'm 40. So I've calmed down a lot over the years, like, but yeah, like.
I got a role this year, and I love telling this when I host. I got a role as a not a child trafficker, but a guy who sleeps with, like, underage children. This is not a movie. It was actually for the Secret Service and for government regulators to see about child trafficking all over the world.
Wow.
And I actually sent in, because these are paid jobs.
Yeah.
So I sent in and they hired me. They actually hired me to be that guy. And so when I went in to see the director, he's like, we want to make sure we don't have a good-looking person on this. We don't want any any type of sexual or someone with an attractive appearance. And I was like, you got the right guy, the perfect guy.
But yeah, they don't want anybody
I got this crazy hair. I just thought it was funny.
They don't want anybody to
tell that story,
to be attracted to somebody that would be doing that kind of a thing. Like,
right?
I guess
exactly.
Right? Wow.
No, I understood it. It was just a funny thing to say to someone. Like, you don't want someone attractive, so we chose you.
It's the best and worst compliment.
You think they would just like leave that part out?
I was like, you got the right guy, man. You don't want someone attractive, you got the right guy.
The thing is, like, there was no reason for them to tell you that.
Dude,
they could have just been like, no, you're our guy. Like, that's
they said that to just dig the knife in.
He wasn't from this country, and you're right. There's no reason for him to say that. Like, well, okay, thanks for letting me know that. I really knew that. There's no reason for him to tell you that.
No.
That's a good thing. Maybe I might use that right there. Who's talking right there? I just said that.
That was Slim. That was amazing. Slim.
Yeah, I'll have to tell people, Slim. I'll have to tell, like, maybe I'll add that as my tag there. There was no reason for him to say this to me. I think I'll get a laugh from that. So thank you.
Oh my God, I wouldn't have even thought of that. Yeah, that was gold.
Hilarious. It's hilarious.
Wow. What other upcoming projects do you have, Ron?
Oh man, I got a lot. So here's what I'm doing now is I do like pilots. I produce a lot of stuff, actually.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I'm 47. You get to that age where I've done so much acting where it's like, all right, now I got to produce shows. So I have shows that I'm trying to pitch. The first one's called The King of the List, about a Craigslist talent agent. When I used to live in L.A. and in New York, I used to go on Craigslist all the time, mining for acting jobs. And then I was throwing off these acting jobs and comedy jobs and music jobs to friends of mine in the arts business. And so I became their Craigslist agent. So we wrote 8 episodes of that about a Craigslist agent in New York, and then we also shot some in L.A., so that's one show. The next show I did is called The Ron Show, and it's something that we shot here in New York, and it's about a divorced guy who's living quite well, and he's now living the life of a middle-aged 40-year-old who's totally free in life, and it's more the writing is very geared like my natural everyday life. A lot of the jokes are written about just what really does happen in my life now at my age. So there's quite good jokes there.
Yeah.
And that's called The Ron Show. And then the next show that I have is called Thank You for Coming. And it's basically a story about an uncle who dies and leaves a strip club to his nephew, who has no idea how to run a strip club. He's like a good guy. And it's all about just a fish out of water story. And I'm actually editing that right now. I do the editing for it.
That sounds amazing, though.
So that's 3. And then the next one is about a marijuana bar down in the East Village, and I'm writing that right now with the guy who wrote the movie Summer of Sam, and we're going to shoot another pilot for that. And that's a comedy. It's about a marijuana bar in New York City.
Cool. Wow.
So those are the 4 projects that I'm on right now. And if I just sell one of them, I'll actually have a career in entertainment at 47 years old.
They all sound great, though. They all sound...
Yeah, man.
Like something I would watch.
It. And that's it.
Wow. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen go down during, like, filming of a production?
I always tell a story of, the craziest thing. I always tell a story of when I was, there was this these Indian filmmakers who, they had a big following on YouTube. They had like 20 million viewers, but they're all from India. But they were out here in New Jersey, and then all the people in India were watching them, and they hired me to play a stalker of one of the girls in the family that was like famous to these people. Okay. So when we went up to New Jersey, this is and then like here we go with the stalker jobs. I told you I could play like a comedy guy, or I could play like these evil, scary people.
You got the look in your eyes, Ron. I've seen it.
What's that?
You get that look in your eyes, like you get that.
Absolutely. I got a deranged look, and I feed it. I enjoy feeding it. And I've done a lot of stuff for it. But so anyway, when we did this, all I could think of. We shot in the day, and then when we were shooting at night, there was these scenes that I didn't even know were in the script, and it was basically the grandfather comes out and we have a fight, but I didn't know what that fight entailed, so the grandfather had this big flashlight in his hand, and he was swinging it so close to my face, and it was dark, so I'm like, how is this guy is he seeing my face here? If he comes even a couple inches close, he's going to hit my teeth and knock my teeth out.
Yeah.
And this was like a Craigslist job that I got. And then the next scene, these other Indian guys in the family jump off the top of the car and jump onto my arm, and he almost broke my arm. And all I could think about is I have no insurance.
Yeah.
I'm doing these jobs on Craigslist.
Yeah.
And I've got a friend out in Hollywood who's a major Hollywood producer who will not answer my calls or come back to me. And here I am giving my life in this scene for $200 where I could like very badly hurt myself.
Yeah.
So it's not a crazy story, but it was just very fun. It was just very funny at the time.
Yeah.
Like that's my life. That's my own success. But there's so many shows there's so many things that you do, or so many things that I have done, and in the hopes of being in movies and television. There was a time I used to do everything, and now obviously I've done a lot less, and I did a lot of non-paid jobs. Now I only do paid jobs. Occasionally I'll do a non-paid. But yeah, I've done all kinds of crazy stuff. I was on that reality show Family Jewels with Gene Simmons.
Wow!
Where I got tased. Yeah, I got tased in the audition, and then they're like, "Well, you got the job because I did such a good job as the audition, getting tased. Like I was all on the ground, like just shivering and shaking. And then they're like, "Well, Rob, we loved you, but we can't tase you. We talked to the lawyers. We can't physically tase you, but you're gonna play somebody else in it." So I did that, and I was in a bunch of stuff. I did a web series with Belding from Saved by the Bell.
Wow! Wow!
Yeah, it was really cool. He's a great actor. He's a tremendous actor.
He's a good guy. I think he's from Jersey.
Is he from Jersey?
I think so. Yeah, I want to say.
Oh, Belding. He's a great actor. I know that. But I was in Hollywood when I did that. I was also on a reality show, seducing Cindy Margolis. She was a big downloaded girl on the internet when the internet was just coming out. And I've done a load of small real bit things in commercials and TV, and
I loved
nothing big.
I loved your Doritos commercial. That was
the big one.
That made me laugh.
I did with the School of Visual Arts. These kids were so intelligent, so good. And they did such a good job with it. And
wow.
I was like, it was college kids.
Wow.
That did that. And it still is one of the things I'm like most proud to show people. I have 125 YouTube videos. But that was like, there's only like maybe 7 of them that I'm proud to show people.
Yeah.
And you say, well, why don't you leave your other stuff up? Because I like to show people like how I've developed as an actor. But that Doritos ad is very funny. Very good.
It's really, really good. And I got into a spiral when I was prepping for your interview. I kept watching your videos. I even the stand up, from the stand up to the act. I liked it all. I really appreciate it. I got a big energy. I obviously have a love for for performance and entertainment. Yeah,
it's just always something that I've always had. So I just continue to do it, and hopefully better projects.
Yeah.
But it's been good. It's been a good ride. I really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed my life. Made a decision to do this a long time ago. I had to give up stuff in my life, like a serious girlfriend and a serious career.
Wow.
But I do love it. It has its down jobs, but I do love it. It's those people always tell me like they want to do it. I'm like, well, then you got to do it. I said, if you feel like you need to do it, you should do it.
Yeah.
But if you feel it, you should do it. If you don't really feel it, don't do it, because it's not easy. It's very difficult to do, but if you love it, definitely do it.
That's what I was going to ask you, because it sounds like you've hit a lot of bumps in the road, and it was like a really hard journey, and I was wondering like what kept you motivated,
just the love.
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, like, why? One of the things I said, one of the jokes I used to say is, you're doing because you're doing what you love. You're doing what you love, but you're not making any money, or you're making very little money. And so after a while, you start asking yourself, why do I hate doing what I love? And the answer is it's a good question, man, because you sometimes just go against. You say, I have to do this. It's not. It becomes less of like logic, and you're a bit crazy. Like you got to be crazy in some ways, and you kind of defy logic to keep going. The main thing is, like, I just got on this show, this TV show, the ID thing, and it's just because I don't stop. There's so many people that I see stopping. And they have to stop. They just can't take it psychologically. It kills them to not have success doing this. And the negativity of all the no's that you get.
Yeah.
You got to be such a warrior to keep going. And you almost have to, and in a big way, you have to not care. You have to not care about the results, but you have to care about the results and the fact that it's like, all right, I got to get better. But at the same time, you say, well, it's a numbers game, and there's a lot of reasons why they don't pick me, but there's good stuff that I see going, so I have to keep at it. So I think that's what keeps me going at it.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. It's not an easy answer for anyone that does it. I know that.
Yeah.
That does it for a long period of time too.
Yeah. Wow. Ron, dude, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. You guys are great energy. I loved your energy on this show. I mean, you guys brought it out of me, so I'm really excited and so thankful that you had me on.
Thank you. Where can everybody find you?
Well, I'll tell you what. Just go to Facebook, find Ron Barba. You can see all my stuff there. I'm really on Facebook 24/7. I literally wake up in the middle of the night to see if you commented. But just find me on Facebook, and that's where I plug all my stuff. And I'll be performing this weekend in the city. You can come out then, but just find me on Facebook and friend me. I still got 1,000 friends left before I hit the 5,000 threshold.
Nice, dude. Right. Thank you. Thanks again, man. It's been great.
Yeah, man, such a pleasure. You guys have a great night and a great week.
You too.
Take care, man.